Hello, Christine here from Social Skills Australia. A quick one today. I'm going to talk about 10 skills ideally your teenager would have by the time they're about 16. So I'm going to talk about each one, and as I do, perhaps you can tick it off in your head if your young person is able to do this. Skill 1, they can start a conversation with a peer. So not with you, not with a teacher, with someone their own age. And what does it look like if they can't do that? They really only talk to people that are much older or much younger than them. Skill 2, they can join a group that's already talking. This is a tricky one. What does it look like if that's not present? They either hover on the edge, waiting to get invited in, and that doesn't usually happen, or they kind of barge in and take over the conversation. Skill 3, they can read the room. They can tell if someone's bored, if someone's interested, if someone's uncomfortable. And what does it look like if that's not present? Well, usually they keep talking long after the other person has checked out. Skill 4, they can end a conversation politely. Nobody really teaches this. And what does it look like if your young person can't do that? They'll often just kind of walk away as soon as they've finished talking. That's pretty abrupt for the other person. Skill 5, can they make plans with their friends? So they're not just sitting at home waiting for invites to come. That's a bit of a red flag. They're actually making plans. They've got mates coming around on the weekend. Skill 6, they can handle a disagreement without exploding or shutting down. So a bit of friction is completely normal, but if your young person goes into a meltdown or the silent treatment or whole friendships end over really minor disagreements, and that's a bit of a red flag, they don't have that skill. Skill 7, they know the unwritten rules of communicating online, texting, group chats, posting. What does it look like if they don't have that skill? Well, they're probably getting kicked out of group chats pretty often, and they often have no idea why. Skill 8, they can speak up for themselves. They can ask for help. They can say no if they want to say no. That means they're not being too passive, they're not being too aggressive. And what does it look like when they can't do that? They don't ask the teacher for help, or they really bottle things up and then explode. Skill 9, they can keep friends, not just make them. This is a big one. Now, what does it look like if that skill's not present? They keep making friends, but those friendships seem to fizzle out within a few weeks, every single time. Skill 10, they can handle peer pressure and bullying. So they have a way to stand their ground. They have a way to sort of shut down bullying if it's happening. And what does it look like if they don't have that skill? Well, they either cave in just to fit in, or they seem to be repeatedly being a target of bullying. So how'd your young person go? That's 10 social skills most teens would probably have under their belt by the time they're around 16. Now, if your teen's missing 3 or more, please don't stress, it's pretty common. And every one of these skills are very teachable. I'll put a free guide below, 5 steps to making and keeping friends. And if you want to know more, you can always have a chat with me. You can book a free discovery call and we can see if the peers program might be a good fit for your family. See you next week.